Hello my loves, happy Friday. I'm in the office and it's actually warm enough in the UK at the moment just to be wearing a jumper. Whether it will stay that way or not is another matter altogether. I hope you're all okay and are flowing or meandering through the week as best that we can towards the weekend, whether it's morning, noon or night with you when you listen to this. The message will be the same. I want to talk today about something which it comes out from time to time, the drum that needs beating, the distraction drum. It's happening all around us at the moment, and I feel that I kind of almost wheel this one out of the closet a little bit from time to time. Like we kind of go through these different phases, these peaks, these troughs, these openings, these gateways, these downloads, all of these circumstances that we're experiencing on our shift. And last week I was talking about the fall of Atlantis, which the memory, the shadow, the aspects that we are experiencing at the moment, all shadows must be revealed, all shadows must come to the surface, they must be witnessed, they must be experienced, they must be shown the light of day. When the sun is at noon, it is well known that on this planet there is very, very little shadow, and what is there is concentrated, if visible at all. The sun is at noon at the moment, it's shining straight down on top of us, meaning that directly underneath our feet exists the shadows that we are currently dealing with. The light has never been brighter, the frequencies have never been higher. Wave after wave of cosmic information is coming in alongside timeline shifts and jumps which happen in such a way that they can be quite startling to the nervous system. And in many ways a lot of us have kind of moved into that, or it's almost like the trauma mechanism where we're witnessing so much, we're experiencing so much, it's all getting so overwhelming that we begin to experience almost a replay of what we experienced in the past. So just to recap slightly on what I said the last time, if you want a proper kind of proper catch up with it, then go and watch the video if you haven't seen it already. But the fall of Atlantis, the shadow of it, is playing out in real time all around us. The same experiences, the same players, the same set of circumstances, the division within the population where half of them are fingers and ears, la la la, everything's wonderful, we just carry on doing what we're doing, whereas the other half are kind of like, no, watch, listen, learn, see, is this not visible to you? But as they did previously, our words fall upon deaf ears. If anything, the words are thrown back with aggression. So in these circumstances, as I've said previously, wheel out the distraction drum, start beating it. This is a call to each and every one of us at this moment in time to be utterly focused on what we wish to experience, rather than the complexities of the narrative, the negative, all of the different things that are going on in the world around us, which are specifically designed to trigger, to put us into a state of survival, to distract, to unnerve, to disarm, to bring us all into a state of flux where we don't really know what the outcome is going to be. We can just feel this overwhelming sense of change is upon us, but is that change good, or is it going to be like the rest of our experience on this planet, where we've had to struggle to survive? So herein lies the biggest test of all, the test of staying focused, the test of staying on pathway, being focused on what we wish to feel and see and achieve. And that will probably begin with turning off certain forms of social media. Social media it's a double-edged sword. It's both our bestest buddy, because it's allowed us all to interconnect with each other around the world, which is not something that they foresaw when they decided to start kind of setting it all up to harvest our information, but that's another story for another day. We have interconnected a vast daily growing, exploding network of light around the world, using the power of social media, Facebook, Instagram, the messages that come through the light side of TikTok, YouTube. But all of these social medias also carry an algorithm, and that algorithm will be programmed by what people are looking for overall, or what the puppeteers would like you to be witnessing and seeing. The vibration, the information, it's all to a certain degree very controlled. All of our focus and our intention collectively at the moment, it feels to me that we have been distracted. Okay, there's the rumblings of conflict in Europe, there's the pantomime going on over in the United States. There's I'm gonna start being a little bit more candid about this, and there's people that are kind of putting hopes and dreams and the consequences on the future on people that are not you. Okay, you know, like figures that have been deliberately put into place to create a certain flow of energy, a certain narrative. And yes, in some circumstances we've got to take the victories and celebrate them when they occur, but we've also got to be very aware of the fact that unfortunately there's no one riding in on the sunset or a big ship coming in out of orbit to save us. We are in the process of changing the world through our vibration, not relying on somebody else to do it for us. So at the moment, I feel that all of our attention has gone off in all of these different directions. Some things we're angry about, some things we're happy about, some things we're kind of like, oh, that needs fixing, that needs correcting. What do we need for a better world? And again, it comes right back down to us, how we are experiencing our current process, the flow of joy that moves through us. If you tune into your bodies and your fields now, ask yourself an honest question. Be honest about it. How much joy have you allowed yourself to experience in the last 24 hours? Might be you might have taken yourself out of the field and you might have put yourself in there and deliberately created that for yourself, in which case that to me is the right course of action. Or you might have allowed yourself to get swept away with the news that's coming in, the political circumstances, the things that are occurring in the world around you, in which case you will inevitably have had your buttons pressed and the alarm bells will be going off within your system telling you that things are not okay. Bring it all back to center, bring it all back to the center of you. You might be going through circumstances which you would regard as testing. You might have heard that this particular month is going to be difficult astrologically. You might have been told that certain things are going to be happening that are going to put you in a pressure cooker. That is the actions of the universe. It does not control you. It sets up a framework of energy which allows you to experience a certain journey on this world, but it does not define your daily experience unless you allow it to. It's simply a set of circumstances that are occurring around you. Within the centre, you are in the driving seat, you are the controller of this experience. At the moment, in many cases, we are allowing ourselves to be distracted, diverted, controlled. Doesn't matter whether that information is spiritual, it doesn't matter whether it's mainstream, it doesn't matter whether it is where it's coming from. It could be coming from your best friend, it could be coming from your spouse or your work partners or something like that. It's very important to step out, get into nature. Where I am at the moment is the perfect and ideal spot. For almost half an hour before I came out here, I don't know what they're up to, but there's like a group of 6 ravens, squawk, caw, croak, and whatever their names are, just doing laps above, and they seem to be enjoying themselves. They don't care what's going on. They're just flying, squawking, doing what they do, and they're going about their daily business. They have crow. They have crow or I think they're ravens. They have raven concerns. They're not bothered about the lives of people and human beings on this world unless they directly encroach upon them. Allow yourself to step out, breathe, come back into nature. Gaia has already said on numerous occasions, we are going to successfully experience joy, peace, harmony, groundedness and unity when we move into her frequency, when we step out of the inorganic world and move back to being organic, to be within nature, to listen to the sounds, to listen to the heartbeat of the earth, the movement of spring or the coming of autumn, depending on which part of the world you're in. And at the moment we're heading towards the equinox. We're moving through March. March is inevitably always a powerful month on the spiritual pathway. But how would it be if we just stepped out of that? We stopped maybe worrying about the effects of the planets, or the consequences energetically of the retrograde or the sun flares, and just be. Move out into a state of calm where none of that matters, and just be. Very much like the ravens, flying round and round, just doing their thing. And I think that was a powerful message, because they've been doing it for a couple of days. Allow yourself a moment of calm every day. Step out of the distractions, move away from the drums of the drum of the constant beating of distraction that's going on out there, and reset. Put your bare feet on the floor, maybe put your hands in some water, close your eyes, feel the sun on your face, feel the wind in your hair, allow the elements to move through you. And when you feel ready, step back into your version of the world that you want to experience. I think all of us are going to be setting some powerful spiritual boundaries this year, or maybe not just spiritual boundaries, just boundaries for life. What we are prepared to allow ourselves to experience. And in some ways, the world that we're living in at the moment, the change, the velocity of the movement, we do get caught up in it, and that's human. It's perfectly normal and acceptable to have these things affecting us, which is why Gaia said, I am your healing centre, I am your temple, move back into me whenever you wish to step out of it. And some of you might be spending all day out of the mix, out of the matrix. And it also brings me to look at something which has been rolling around my head for a little while now. The systems on this world are changing, we know that. In order to become organically aligned with our ascension process, with the movement of this earth, the planet, each other, to honour the systems that are here, but still have the ability to provide for ourselves, to educate our children, to do all of the things that we need to do to successfully thrive on this planet. An alternative system is going to be built. In fact, it's in the structural process of being built at the moment, energetically for the time being, but there are also people that are beginning to step forwards and take action. Most importantly, what I feel that I've witnessed is seeing people moving through the cleansing process, the removal of all their triggers, and actually acknowledging what they need before they step out and do it, in order to be able to lead and teach from the heart. So how does a heart-led system, one that does not leave us in a state of being triggered all day, does not leave us wondering about our survival, it's time to start building this, which leads me on to the subject of how would a political system look spiritually, and would politics actually exist at a fifth dimensional level? There has to be a think tank, there has to be an alternative system, there has to be something that we come together with, all together, people that are prepared to step forwards and maybe bring the ideas to the table, to actually say this will work, but that is no longer working. And this is going to, I feel, start to become a reality in every single country in this world, because the system as it exists at the moment can no longer sustain itself. It's like the snake that eats its own tail. It's going round and round and round, doing exactly that. So I'm dipping my toes into what a fifth dimensional system would look like on a political level, spiritual politics, so to speak, and how they would run. How would a system in the fifth dimension work successfully for everybody? And I think this is something that we all should be beginning to feel the stirrings of leaning towards. How are we going to contribute to our higher society, our higher civilization? What's going to be our contribution? What's our skills? What are we good at? What can we bring to the table? What is our part and our role to play in this changing world? Because in order for one system to shift into another, there has to be another one available in the first place. You can't just be systemless. You can't just have absolutely nothing to sustain this beautiful planet that we live on. So it might be worth tapping into that frequency, that vibration that is pulsing from our navel chakras at the moment. The navel chakra being the chakra of unity and oneness. It became highly active in February 2020 when it began to beacon out the instructions to all of those on the light path. And for those that aren't at this moment in time, it's not our job to save and rescue. It's not our job to attempt to make people see, as we did or tried to do at the fall of Atlantis. It's our job to live our lives in our highest frequency, our highest vibration, and insist that joy is a part of our everyday structure. If we're not living in joy, what are we doing? If we're not loving our time on this planet, it's something that we are all going to be sewing in, or asking the questions. How can we live on this world in the very near future, from now onwards, in a frequency of love, joy, unity, companionship, support, and heart-centeredness? If you feel guided to do so, start tuning into what your navel chakra is saying. How we are all going to collectively do this together, because it's time I feel, to start putting all of our words, all of our propositions into action. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's not something that's going to suddenly build itself overnight and be there tomorrow. It's a work in progress, and it's going to take all of us on a heart-centered level to actually contribute to this actively. Food for thought, and it's certainly running through my mind at the moment. So that's all from me today. If anything else comes in, I'll pop it in on Monday, on my meditation Monday. Now, I'm going to be running my Sunday night Ascension club at 7 p.m. on Sunday, and that is going to be working with the beautiful dragon realm. So for those of you that love dragons, or for those of you that simply want to join me and come along for the ride, there's going to be an hour of power-packed fun and games with the dragon realms. So I'll put the link for that to come and join underneath this video. And next weekend I'm going to be in Burley in the new is it Burley? Is it Burley? No, it's Bewley in the New Forest, with my 2-day workshop with Jackie White. And I'll also put the details underneath this video for all of you to have a look if you're feeling guided to do so. Love you all. Bye for now.